This video is going to be about the cQ-Price Zones Indicator version 1. This is the indicator. It's very similar to the vertical lines and horizontal lines indicators, but this one uses rectangles as zones. I call them price zones. This is what it does. Press this button and you can move things around like this, for example. And each of these buttons you can assign. Right now this is a magnetic, meaning it's either going to be the high, the low, the open, or the close. It will place it in one of those, or you can have this normal, which you can pretty much position it anywhere. That's the general idea. It has a local and global awareness, so if you have the same chart open and this indicator installed on it, it will draw the same price zones. It also has an opportunity to have different price zones for different time frames. I'll show you some of this stuff, but at the moment, I'll just show you the rest of these things. This is the price zone 1. This is the default color, and it's kind of it's this gray, dark gray color. So, and you can go in and change them for if you have a white background or whatever, you can change these, of course. Then there's a color type. Right now it says use default color, which is that color right there. You can also use this color list, which basically cycles through whatever colors you have here. So the first one will be lime green. The second you put up will be red, and so forth. So that's the color list. And then it just generates a random number, tends to be brighter. Sometimes they're not, but tends to be brighter. Or you can have this use random darker colors. If you want to delete any of these, it deletes the last one that you put up first. Okay, I'm using a use random darker color. When I click on this, see, that's just a random color that it decided what it's going to use. The other thing that it has, you can make it so that the fill, it's not filled. It's just going to be whatever this thickness is and whatever style you have selected. Right now it's solid and 1, so it's going to be 1 pixel wide. So you can see that there. I don't know if you can see that. It's probably not the best one. We'll try a different color. That one's a little brighter. But here, I'll just make this 3. Now you should be able to see that. Okay. For example, if you're at the end of the chart, which is the current price right now, if you drag this all the way to the end, so it's on this candle, as the next candle comes through, this will move to the next candle. This will continue out to the right as a new candle is drawn. If this is one candle or if it's back here, it won't. It just stays right there. This is the number of pips, for example, you can use. I'll put this to magnetic, and we'll put this back to 1. We'll do the color list. So there's the green. And then you see, you kind of have to zoom in. Add a new one. Okay, so you can see right there it's using the high. Move it down, it's now using the close. Now it's using the open, and now it's using the low. It shifts, okay? I don't know if you can see what I'm talking about. And then sometimes if you're really zoomed in, you just have to click on the furthest left candle right in there, and that will select it. If you have them overlap like that, then it's going to select the most recent one or the later one. All right, well, here is a brighter chart. And then if you wanted to change the background down here, right now it said to use background color, but you can say user select, and it's using black. This is the on buttons are gold, the buttons off are dark gray. This is the font. So if you're on like a laptop, you might have to make this like a 7 or something, depending on the size of your screen. Like if you have a bunch of these on a chart, just move this down here. You can press that and it will take them off the screen just temporarily. Sort of disables the indicator. Okay. Again, you'll just have to find colors that work with whatever color style you're using. What I'd like to show now is the sub-window spacer. So I'm going to add it to this chart over here, which is pretty much the same thing. And then I'm going to add the price zone indicator to the main chart up here. And then you scroll down. Here, I'll just press OK. It sticks it right here at the main chart. But if I don't want it in the main chart, I want it down in this sub-window. You can just select it right there, and it will move it down. This is the position of this right upper corner. Okay, so right now that is 0, 0 right there at that corner of the indicator. So if you want to move it to the left, I think the vertical and the horizontal and this one, they're all 30 pixels wide. You could move it, say it moved it over. And then it also has the layout orientation. You can make it horizontal. Right now, we're on the EuroCAD 4-hour. These are both on the same time frame and the same chart. So if I add it to this chart, it adds it to this chart. Okay, that's what the global means. And if I move it, stretch it out, it follows it. Okay, like this. And again, if you're at the end or the current position of the chart and you drag this all the way to the end as the next candle is drawn, this will continue to follow it like that. Okay, and then the one thing, for example, here, what I did is on the left-hand screen, I'm having it use the random brighter color. But on this one over here, this one is set for the default color, so it's going to be the gray color. But if I add it over here, it's a way of having two different styles. This is set up so you can have 3 different styles. For example, you can either use different colors or you can have different number of pips, because this one is 20 pips wide. This one could be 40 pips. You can have it so you can move it around anywhere with the normal setting, or you can use the magnetic setting. If you're in this global mode and you're on the same chart, EuroCAD, and the same time frame, the 4-hour, if I set this to yes, it's going to write all the next price zones that you add. It's going to write it to a different file. So there's no file created for it. So these are going to go away. They're still there. Like if you set this back, which here I'll show you, it's going to, see they went away there, okay? But if I go back here and go back to, no, they come back. Just to let you know, just to demonstrate that you can select different time frames, I'm going to have to put both of these to the same setting. And we'll add one here. Good bright color. Okay, and we'll add another one down here. It's magnetic. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm still on the same chart, but I'm going to switch to a different time frame. Okay, it's not being drawn there, it's not there, but if I come back, it's there. So we'll go back to the 1 hour. I'll draw another one on the 1 hour. For example, if I change this one now to the 1 hour, see right up here, it's the 1 hour, it's the same. So hopefully you're getting the idea of what I'm trying to do here, or what you can do with it if you want. Okay. And again, if you set this back to no, then you get the same ones that are still there. But obviously on the 1 hour, you have to zoom out a little more to get it. What this button down here does is if you press it, it locks the price zones in place. And as you noticed, if you have the global thing happening, it locks all of them. And that's like if you have a moving average or you're clicking on something else or you're moving something else around, you don't want to click on these things. They won't move. They'll stay there. If you set this to local, all that means is it just writes it for this particular chart. It's not going to copy it to any other chart. Other than that, I think that's pretty much this indicator. I'm going to have one that has trend lines. Instead of these rectangles, they're just actual trend lines. So I'll have a little number here, and you can have the magnetic thing. So if you want to put a trend line from here and just have it stick out to wherever, you can do that. And that one should be available relatively soon. Anyway, there it is.